Boeing 747 is a long-range, wide-body airliner designed and manufactured by Boeing Commercial Airplanes in the United States between 1968 and 2023. After the introduction of the 707 in October 1958, Pan Am wanted a jet that was 2.5 times its size to reduce its seat cost by 30%. In 1965, Joe Sutter left 737 development program to design the 747. He is considered by many to be the father of the 747 program. In April 1966, Pan Am ordered 25 Boeing 747-100 aircraft, and in late 1966, Pratt Whitney agreed to develop the JT9D engine, a high-bypass turbofan. On September 30, 1968, the first 747 rolled out of the custom-built Everett Plant, the world's largest building by volume. The 747 was the first airplane called a jumbo jet as the first wide-body airliner. The 747 is a 4-engine jet aircraft initially powered by Pratt Whitney JT9D turbofan engines, and then by the General Electric CF6 and the Rolls-Royce RB211 engines.
Monday, September 30th, 1968, at the Boeing Company's Everett, Washington branch. 26 stewardesses, representing the 26 airlines that have ordered 158 747s, take part in the christening ceremony.
1, 2, 3.
Six months ago, as we stood amidst the forest up here at Everett, and the decision was made to go forward with the 747 program.
We have an airplane now.
February 9th, approaching takeoff time. The flight crew moves out to the waiting airplane. Pilot Jack Waddell. Co-pilot Brian Weigel. Flight engineer Jess Wallach. Takeoff requires only 4,300 feet of roll. Gross takeoff weight is 467,500 pounds. Each engine producing just under 39,000 pounds of thrust.
Now you're ready. Now watch it. 30 knots. Check good. 90 knots. I'm off the steering. Let's go power. I guess everything looks good. We are. Okay.
It's a very easily flyable airplane, though, and it doesn't want a Dutch roll. Still in the takeoff configuration. We haven't tried to change anything yet.
Everything looks very normal on the right side, Jack, and steer doors look closed, and I'll go over and check the left.
Beautiful.
In the final approach, basic airspeed is 140 knots. Landing weight, 440,000 pounds.
flying qualities during the landing approach were almost unbelievable in that the airplane sits there like a stable platform. The pilot has to keep telling himself, now leave it alone, it doesn't need any help here.
Okay, Jack, natural question is, what are your impressions?
I guess this sounds complacent or something, but that thing is just ridiculously easy to fly. It's just a pilot's dream. Really a nice airplane to fly.
The 747's first flight took place on February 9, 1969, and the 747 was certified to carry passengers in December of that year. It entered service with Pan Am on January 22nd, 1970. The 10 abreast economy seating typically accommodates 366 passengers in 3 travel classes. It has a pronounced 37.5 degree wing sweep, allowing it to reach Mach 0.85 cruise speed. Its heavy weight is supported by 4 main landing gear legs, and each with 4-wheel bogie. The partial double-deck aircraft was designed with a raised cockpit so it could be used as a freight airliner by installing a front cargo door, as it was initially thought that it would eventually be superseded by supersonic transport. Boeing introduced the Dash 200 in 1971 with an upgraded engine for a heavier maximum takeoff weight of 833,000 pounds from its initial weight of 735,000 pounds. This increased its maximum range from 4,600 to 6,500 nautical miles. It was shortened for longer range on the 747 SP in 1976. 747-300 followed in 1983 with a stretched upper deck for up to 400 seats in 3 classes. The heaviest 747-400 with improved RB211 and CF6 engines, or the new Pratt Whitney 4000 engine. The 2-crew glass cockpit was introduced in 1989. It is the most common variant. After several studies, the stretched 747-8 was launched on November 14, 2005, using the General Electric GE NX engine, first developed for the Boeing 787 Dreamliner. And that is also the inspiration of Dash 8 in the name, and was first delivered in October 2011. The 747 was designed with a new methodology called fault tree analysis, which allowed the effects of failure of a single part to be studied and determine its impact on the other systems. To address concern of safety and flyability, the 747's design included structural redundancy, redundant hydraulic system, quadruple landing gear, dual control surfaces. Additionally, some of the most advanced high-lift devices used in the industry were included in the new design. This was to allow it to operate in existing airports. These include the Kruger flaps running almost the entire length of the wing's leading edge, as well as the complex 3-part slotted flaps along the trailing edges of the wing.
Upon its entry into service, the 747 transformed the existing aviation world in many ways. Perhaps most importantly, the jumbo jet changed the economics of flying. Increased capacity gave airlines much more scope for different pricing and ticket types. This was made all the more relevant with the deregulation of airfares in the United States. In many ways, this heralded the start of affordable long-haul travel. The increased space offered by the 747 not only allowed for more passengers and lower fares, but it also facilitated the introduction of new cabin features. Separate first and economy class seating had been prevalent since the late 1950s, but many airlines took this much further with the 747. Several airlines use the upper deck space to create separate and distinct lounge areas for first class. For example, Qantas offered one of the more notable innovations with its themed Captain Cook Lounge on its 747s. Pan Am used the upper deck as a restaurant for first-class passengers, while American Airlines offered a lounge with a bar and piano. In Asia, Air India, Singapore Airlines and Japan Airlines all had upper-deck first-class lounges. Another significant change introduced by the 747 was its secondary function as a transporter of cargo. In fact, the 747 was designed from the outset to accommodate both. The location of the 747's cockpit on the upper deck allowed for a full-length main deck able to be maximized for cargo. Boeing saw cargo transport capabilities as crucial to the success of the program. Loading of goods would eventually be made even easier with the lifting nose. If passenger aircraft demand moved towards supersonic aircraft, then the 747 would still find a place as a heavy freighter. These days, a higher and higher proportion of 747s still flying are indeed freighters, a testament to Boeing's great design and foresight. Over the years, Boeing would unveil multiple variants of the 747 that would integrate technological improvements to provide more power, range or efficiency for airline customers. Beyond the first -100 series, subsequent iterations would be designated the -200, -300 and -400 with additional suffixes for specialties. These would include SR for short range, SP for special performance, and ER for extended range, among several others. Beyond a full passenger variant, Boeing also developed 747 freighters and combination passenger freighter models known as combis. There were even special short-range variants for high-capacity domestic operations, as well as versions that offered an extended range. The 747-8 is the latest and final variant of the 747 and was launched in 2005. It first flew in 2010, offering more efficient engines, an improved cockpit, and larger fuselage. Despite offering an increased payload of around 16%, the 747-8 would never attain the same levels of popularity as the highly successful -400. Beyond regular passenger service, the 747 has also had a role in transporting world leaders and royalty, as well as delivering critical supplies to all corners of the world. While the 747 and its unique hump may slowly fade from travel itineraries, it will live on much longer in the collective memory of frequent flyers the world over.
The 747 is a basic airframe for several government and military variants, such as the VC-25, also called the Air Force One, the E-4, also referred to as the Emergency Airborne Command Post, the shuttle carrier aircraft, and some experimental test aircraft such as the YAL-1 or the Sophia Airborne Observatory, operated by NASA.
Shuttle Endeavour takes to the skies one last time from Kennedy Space Center on September 19th.
And wheels up.
After a brief flyby, the Boeing-built 747 carrier aircraft with the shuttle riding piggyback banked west for a stop in Houston.
Just excited to be out here. I'd never seen the shuttle this close.
Get on, baby.
100, 50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
As the aircraft taxi again. Now, a love relationship that we all appreciate. It's a good one at that, ladies and gentlemen. For many of you passengers out here, it is to the B-747 aircraft that the love for commercial aircraft has begun.
Indeed, the events of 2020 have sealed the fate for the Queen of the Skies, as Boeing announced this year that it'll wind down 747 production once it completes its existing 747-8 orders. The 747's cargo use has in many ways outlasted passenger use. In fact, 4 of the 5 top operators in 2020 are cargo airlines. Atlas Air, Cargo Lux, UPS Airlines and Kalita Air still operate significant fleets of 747-400F aircraft, and the first 3 of these also operate the 747-8F. While the 747 will become a much less common sight on passenger routes going forward, it will likely remain in freight use for many years to come. For thousands of travellers, the 747 will have a special place in the travel experience. For some, the 747 was the ship that facilitated a special family holiday or a once-in-a-lifetime trip around the world. For others, it was the jet that took them on countless overnight business flights to secure important deals.
I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and hit that notification icon for the latest videos as they are released. Thanks for watching and catch you in the next one. Ciao for now.